Amigos de
Friends of
teleSUR,
teleSUR,
bienvenidos. Otra
welcome.
jornada
It's
del Mundial
another
de
day from
Rusia
the World Cup
que
in
vamos a
Russia
vivir de
that
la
we
mano
are
del
going
10.
to be
Hola,
here with
Diego.
La Mano Del Diez. How are you doing, Diego?
Good evening, Victor Hugo. And greetings to people in Telesur.
We have seen some sort of great apparition of Latin American football.
Well, we're back. We are back. With Colombia, who weren't able to beat someone significantly during the first two games, but still, they were able to define the game in a very, very good way. And I said that the team of Iceland had 4 tall players of 190, and the first goal of Mina was with a movement that came to the back. I don't know if it was Quintero, and then he gives it back to James. And when James takes the ball, the ones we're marking here, even though they're 2 meters tall, they will leave the defender alone. That's why Jerry Mina was able to head the ball, and the keeper was behind him. And with Mina, no one was marking him. So beyond this display that I wanted Argentina to do, but they were never able to do it. Bad Colombia played by thinking that they were doing things wrong, and that Jose had to correct or refresh the legs of James and Cuadrado, because both of them were fundamental players. They wanted to get the ball, they were never hidden, they were always at the service of their teammates that they were fighting. Also, the 2 center backs of Colombia played a very good game. And then El Tigre, Falcao. He reminded me of him before his injury, using the acid of his foot without any opportunity left for the goalkeeper, and he was able to get the 3-0.
Then we're going to talk about Uruguay that had a fantastic, a superlative performance, and they beat Russia 3-0. But I want to talk with Colombia a little bit more. You wanted Cuadrado to play, and you wanted him to be kept on the team.
Exactly, precisely. Well, listen, I think that James and Cuadrado, they know each other very, very well. And they know how to play between the lines. That's why Falcao's first goal is between the lines, between the defender lines. And Cuadrado, with his left foot, cross the ball, and then Cuadrado run diagonally, and then he holds the ball because he's fast enough and because he knows how to go from one place to the other in the field. That's what I said. He goes back and he goes forth, back and forth, and that's why he provides some help for his teammates. That is fundamental.
Colombia had necessity, but they were not desperate. I really liked how they worked the game from the first minute.
It seemed that Colombia was already qualified because they held the ball, and some players that, instead of passing the ball to the feet of their teammates, provided elsewhere. I think that this is where Beckerman worked in order to calm this team down, and specifically knowing how powerful they are as a team with the ball. Without Colombia, we'll be running 300 minutes, but they will not score a goal. However, if they do have the ball, we can already see that every time James grabbed the ball, or that Cuadrado grabbed the ball, or Falcao grabbed the ball, then there was a different sensation between this game and the games before.
Cuadrado ran the pitch. He received a perfect pass. He was marked by 2 people. It was amazing.
Well, I saw the same thing with Cavani at the 90th minute. I was watching this. He beat the Russian in the corner kick. 90 minutes. with 1 and 50 seconds added. So these are the players that really are worth.
There was very good football played, and I do believe that we had an apparition of the best Colombian football.
Well, we're all expecting for it to come back. We have long been awaiting for the Peruvian touch to come back. We were used to this. They used to play it back with Velázquez, Cueto. They used to use their back heel. Those players that some of the youth may have never heard of, but you may have the sticker in your album and see them. So I will not say things that can't be proved. This is all true. But still, Peru left the World Cup. They're out. And now, Colombia has woken up, and their legs are up today. And they have also a new way of thinking, because they know that they had a yellow stadium, because it was impressive to see how many people were there. It was almost overcrowded with people in yellow shirts in the game of Colombia against Poland. And they scored 3 goals. And they maybe gave them a bargain.
It was a match that was typically that one would think that South American football against European football.
Of course, European, yeah.
Poland is a very European team, and Colombia is a very South American team, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's that different styles of play, of being able to pass the ball around. Everything that Colombia did was fantastic.
Yes, it's more elegant. Much more elegant. I would rather see I'd rather see James playing than any other player and see how he kicks the ball, or how he passes the ball, or how he takes it in, or how he stops, or how he sees the rest of the field. This is what we discovered. And it was a pleasure for us to see that Colombians are back. And they have a memory.
We had not seen a finish with the outside of the foot, one-on-one on the keeper like it happened.
And that's a very, very good keeper. A very good keeper. However, Falcao, he's so eager to score. When he had already touched the ball, he knew that he was going to hit the far post with his foot outside, and it was unstoppable.
And it's very good for Falcao to score this
it
goal.
will be very good for him.
He yelled the goal incredibly hard.
He celebrated so much, as if it was the goal that, I don't know, maybe a goal in the semifinal.
Yes, absolutely. And he absolutely needed that for confidence, because he was a little bit one step behind, and he was conscious that if he did not score, and then everything would clarify with that goal.
That is true. And I can tell you that regardless of his great recovery, because I just talked to him, well, he told me that he didn't feel strong yet. However, this keeps him closer to the strength he had before his injury. And when you play a game like this, when your midfielders are there, when you have 2 center backs who answer to your needs, where you have a keeper that provides you with safety, then we're already speaking about a different level of football. And this will be the one that will take Colombia probably to the next round.
We want to wish them the best to Colombia, and we're going to see one of the best matches against Senegal. It was pure football.
Pure football. Pure football. We're going to watch a great game of football, because Senegal is playing great as well. And I hope that it will fill our expectations, because all of a sudden we're kind of numb, and then we're up once again. So this World Cup is somehow a little bit coming up and down, but whenever it comes up strong, with games as the ones played by Mexico, by Colombia, and hopefully the kids of Argentina as well.
Let's go for a small break. We have a memory that happened 40 years ago for Argentina in a World Cup, and anything that happened during those terrible times of the dictatorships. We're going to talk with Diego about that. And obviously we're going to talk about Uruguay and their victory against Russia at the end of the match. So please invite us to a commercial break.
Okay, so let's go de la mano del 10.
Let's continue in De la Mano del Diez. June is a month that's fantastic for Argentinian football. There's plenty of memories.
A lot of memories, all of them together. You didn't know which one to choose. Which moment was better?
All of them are great.
This month made me crazy, because every time this month comes was either my goal with my hand, or the goal against the English, or the goal against Belgium.
The goal
World
that Kanye
Cup.
scored.
The nutmeg, yeah. So there are a lot of memories, a lot of beautiful memories.
40 years ago, Argentina was a World Cup champion for the first time. How did you live that moment?
Well, I remember that I was crying. I left the Salvatore Foundation crying. My dad came and picked me up, and I kept in touch with the lads. I used to watch them play. However, at that moment, I was already out. It was a Wednesday. It was the Wednesday afternoon, and on Thursday, I wanted to play for the championship, and I asked the Flaco to allow me to play against Chacarita. I scored 3 goals, and we beat them 5-2. So yeah, this was the doubt. If he scores a hat-trick, well, and Hugo Pena told me, listen, you scored a goal that was so beautiful that I almost hugged you, but he played for the opposite team. But still, games went by, and of course, those who weren't there, we weren't given anything. I bought 2 tickets, and I brought my brother with me. We watched Argentina, and there was a goal of Bettega from Italy. So a pass from Pablo Rossi, and then he kicked the ball next to the far post. So Argentina seemed like a team that was able to be faster, and particularly I had the chance to train with them, so Menotti's concept, I had them very, very clear. We all did. And it was a beautiful, beautiful World Cup. And there are a lot of great things and other things that were said. Cruyff told me in a meeting of the union of players that I had in Barcelona, he said, I went to your country because in your country people were murdered. So I didn't go. And I told him, well, we don't know about this. We are not in the streets holding guns. We're not there as the tribes. It's usually portrayed in the papers here in Spain. We're not that kind of people. We're a peaceful people. However, if there are 4 murderers that can come into your house, take your son or your pregnant daughter, well, this is something we cannot manage, that we cannot control. And I explained Cruyff that everything that Flaco said came true, because 30,000 people were disappeared. 30,000 people. And they didn't care about other people's life. Today you can see a different image. And you're no longer enraged. Now, you feel saddened for them. Take a look at these insane people. These people took children away from their mothers. They took children that were just about to be born. And as an Argentinian, I would like to apologize for this. But I had nothing to do with this, of course. And I think that most of the Argentinian people has nothing to do with it.
Look what Pato Filiol, the goalkeeper from that team, had said with regards to what now we have a 40th anniversary of Argentina being world champions. At that point in time, we had 25 million Argentinians in the middle of a dictatorship. And I truly believe, and I do not think I'm wrong by saying this, that during that decade of the 70s to the 80s was a decade that was one of the most important decades of the national sport in Argentina. Because we had a famous person in Formula 1, we had Vilas, who was playing in Wimbledon, he was a champion, we had Monzon, who was a boxer and he was a world champion. So they were acting and the country would paralyze. Since we were champions of the world, the 25 million Argentinians came out to the streets to celebrate the World Cup. They did not come out to protest against the dictatorship. Why? Because with us, we did not know anything, and neither did they. Then afterwards, when democracy came, we started to learn about things. And what do I want to say with this? That dictatorship is one thing, and the World Cup was something completely polar opposite. The very big sorrow that we have with that World Cup, that we won it with such fantastic play, was that they, the military, they used that triumph in order to continue to torture people and kill people. But the penalties, I was the one who stopped the penalty, not the military dictatorship. The goals were scored by our players. They were not scored by Agosti and Marcela, the dictators. If that last play and the last minute of the match, if it had gone in, nobody would have said that we were a team of the military junta, that we bought the team against Peru, that we would be drugged in the matches. Everything would have been completely different. They would have said that we would have sold our country down the river, we would have been traitors of our country, that we would have been people who brought back luck to our country. And apart from that, at that point in time, our sporting careers would have finished. We never felt to be heroes. Heroes are the soldiers from the Falcons, the mothers from the Plaza de Mayo, and the crew members of the San Juan. Those are heroes. We are not heroes. We were simply footballers. And we won 2 World Cups, yes, in 78 and 86, that was celebrated in exactly the same manner. We have Bonafini, the president of the Plaza de Mayo Mothers, has told Diego that her husband was celebrating the goals in the kitchen, and she
was crying. She was crying in her
Yes,
bathroom.
absolutely. But the man would celebrate it.
What Pato said makes a lot of sense. We weren't provided by Videla or Cartieri or Viola or Agosti. No. The ones there were Flaco and Pizzarotti, and we gave it all. We gave it all to get and be able to have the same sensation of being hand by hand, head to head against a foreigner, because even though at that point there were still off short passes from us and the straight pass against the one that we have today, and we were used to this. However, the Europeans would have a long pass and they would take the ball away from us. So we learned that there. We learned to be faster with the ball and faster with our passes as well. So this was Flaco's merit and also from the team.
And we will be right back.
We are present at every event where our nations are staring. We believe in a new global vision, united in every broadcasting. We keep expanding our horizons and working on a closer and better communication. Now, in Grenada, teleSUR, the news source from South America and the Caribbean.
Very well. And like if this were the cherry on top of a cake, we have waited for Uruguay until the end.
Uruguay, for me, is focused on the World Cup. I wanted to say this for everyone who's watching us. For everyone who has been listening to us for all these days. Uruguay is a different team in the way in which they face every match. It seems that the players are very well physically. I spoke about Cavani previously, but we can say the same thing about Suarez. And I have to say, and Ramos, come on, stop being mad at me. The best one is Godin, that's it. So I think that Uruguay Well, we have a team that is already thinking beyond than the rest. They are already focused on going beyond the round and beyond and beyond.
You see that man that was hitting his head against his wall, and he kept on fighting the ball against the Russian on the ground.
Exactly. This is I often say. Don't tell me stories. Here, if you want to fight with your head.
And he did so.
He did so.
They have a lot of personality, that team.
They do.
They're used to playing big and difficult matches. Against Saudi Arabia, they were not the best, but they come to the biggest challenge, and they have Uruguay there.
There it is. That's why I'm speaking about this, because they're already focused on this. When a team has the players that they have individually, and they're focused, all of them, in the same goal, in the same path, then is where things need to be taken advantage of. And Tavares knows how to do. Now, he should play with the same team and just play with them, because physically, they cannot be better. Because we saw that today, Cavani at the 90th minute recovered the ball almost in Uruguay's own field. So this makes us very, very happy.
And what about the free kick? Did you enjoy that one?
I like the free kick. But do you know, Victor Hugo? Let me tell this to all free kick takers. From the place where Suarez took the set piece, from that place, the wall
is very close.
Yes, it is close. So, if you want to put it over the wall, it's going to be over the wall and over the post. So, when the Russian keeper takes a step behind the wall, he kicks it hard to the first post, and this was the only place to score.
It's very clear how the Uruguayan players move out of the wall.
Yes, they move, because when the ball is near the area, it passes the wall and it passes the post. So the keeper must stay where he is, and he must cover his own post.
You will not believe me, but I was watching the play, and I was commentating the play, Diego, and I said, with the wall there, it's impossible. Either it hits the wall, or it beats the post. But I did not even think, even 1 minute, in that small movement where they would put it under the players to the near post. It was fantastically prepared.
Perfectly prepared. And it was very close. So it didn't give the keeper any chance to go back, because when the keeper took the step, the ball was already there.
He sees it late as well, the keeper.
Of course, you don't see it. You don't see it there. You don't see a ball there. You have 5 very, very tall players that were there together with players of Uruguay that were also part of the wall. So it's impossible to see where the ball is headed. It's impossible to see who's going to take the kick. It's impossible to see who could do what play can develop, even though you usually never have to take a play after it. You either have to hit it hard or to play very, very smoothly over the wall. But often, those want to play smoothly over the wall. I tell you, 40 years of football, that the ball from that place where Suarez hit it, if it goes over the wall, it goes over the post.
Did you like that number 6, Betancourt?
Betancourt, yes, I like how he plays. He passes. He is always well positioned. He is always on time. He's always the best teammate that you can pass the ball to. You can even play with him and he will play it and pass it.
Let's wait, man. Now, today we have a balance for Latin America. Mexico still has a chance. Colombia woke up. Uruguay is already in the round of 16.
They're
very,
already
very
there.
well. With ideal points. Brazil is there. And Argentina we will see tomorrow.
So tomorrow we'll be in St. Petersburg to watch Argentina and see what happens. Hopefully, I get the chance to see my grandson, Benjamin. I haven't seen him yet, but I spoke with his father, and he said that he is going to allow me to see him. I have a lot of illusion to see Benjamin and also to see Argentina playing once and for all, as we know that Argentinians play.
We have to say hello to a couple of our channels, Diego. We have Sunrise, IPTV in Zurich, Switzerland.
Switzerland.
We have Sport Arena channel 241 and 251 in Uganda. What can you say about that?
There
And
it
we have
is.
some friends from Chile as well.
Radio Difusión from Valparaíso, Chile. To all of them, I send you a very big kiss.
And to every single one, we want to say, see you tomorrow with
De la Mano del Diez. With the app De la Mano del Diez, you can play. And you can win this book signed by me and also by Victor Hugo.